saved 800 lives, including yours.
I dare you to do better. Enlist in Starfleet.
Casting Star Trek was a very interesting challenge for me because we felt so committed to the fans. And these are very iconic figures, and we didn't want to not please them in some way. We were very, very conscious of that. So in looking at people, when we were reading them, although Zachary Quinto was so totally Spock from the very beginning, but when we were looking for Kirk, to find that right balance of someone who had the bravado but not arrogant was a tricky thing to find, who could handle the dialogue in a smooth kind of way that made him feel strong and appealing, and we saw a lot of guys for it. English, Australian, American, really realizing that the American guys seemed to, understand that kind of cockiness a little bit more. And although Chris Hemsworth did end up playing Kirk's father, that was because he was so tall. We couldn't really use him as Kirk. He was just terrific, and he's now got a huge career coming off of that. So,
how did you manage to beam aboard this ship?
Hey, you're the genius. You figure it out.
As acting captain of this vessel, I order you to answer the question.
Well, I'm not telling, acting captain.
I had worked with Chris Pine during theater. I'm a member of the Blank Theater Company. I'm on the board there, and he generously gives his time to the Young Playwrights Festival and had for quite some time. And so I knew Chris from there. And Chris has a gravity to him. He's such a man, even when he was young. And what's great is that he's a character actor. He just happens to have a leading man's body and face. He really works hard when he does it. And I knew that element for me, his intelligence, his innate warmth, would come to play. But what was also great was that he could be such a kind of like swaggering guy too, because he's kind of sexy.
I order you to answer the question.
Well, I'm not telling, acting captain. What now? That doesn't frustrate you, does it? My lack of cooperation. That doesn't make you angry.
Are you a member of Starfleet?
Yes.
The way that I work with auditioning actors, because I'm also a director, is that I try to get a sense of where they're blocking their energy. And then if I have time, we'll try to tweak that and make an adjustment. Oftentimes people separate their bodies and their heads. They stop breathing, they go right up into their brains and forget exactly what they're saying. So what I try to do is ground them in some way so that they're able to get back in the room. When you come into a room, the more present you can be to what you're actually doing there, which is the audition. It's not impressing me, it's not trying to be the character necessarily or getting the job. It's really just to come in and do the audition. Those are the best tips I can have. Don't talk too much unless they ask you questions. I've seen people talk themselves out of jobs. You want to come in and do your job and affect the room. Spread your energy in the room as opposed to letting what's ever going on there make you more crazy or nervous.